In less than 12 hours, I am scheduled for a kidney transplant. Yet my wife just took my 500,000 in life-saving money and handed it over to some streamer. I sat half propped up on my hospital bed at the City Central Hospital, my eyes glued to the notification that just popped up on the screen. A bank alert.
Zhao Man's savings account ending in 800-888-8888 at Earth ect at Ferk at Zhao.
Has just transferred 500,000 out. The remaining balance is not even 5 yuan. I rubbed my dry, stinging eyes, then counted the zeros one more time. No mistake, it is exactly 500,000. That is 500,000 I scraped together, working sales for 3 years, day and night, without a break, drinking until my stomach was ruined, staying up until my kidneys failed, pinching every penny just to save up that amount. I took a deep breath, swallowing the metallic taste rising in my chest, and called Zhao Man. Zhao Man, where is the 500,000 from the account? Chu Shu. You are so annoying. Lin Xuan is in a PK battle today. The streamer on the other side has a bunch of big shots backing her. She is already riding all over Lin Xuan. Can't you just stand by and watch without being so useless? I froze. In that moment, I even suspected that my kidney failure had already affected my hearing, or perhaps my brain. I was so furious, I started laughing.
Zhao Man,
Did you forget? Tomorrow morning at 8, I am going into surgery for a kidney transplant. You took my surgery money to save the ego of some online streamer. Can you stop being so selfish? You are only missing one kidney. It is not like you are going to die. I have looked it up. At worst, you will just have to go for dialysis twice a week, and it is even covered by insurance. But Lin Xuan is different. If he loses today, he has to live stream himself shaving his head in front of tens of thousands of people with his perfect hair. If he shaves it all off, how is he supposed to face anyone after this? Besides, he calls me his baby. I held the phone silent for a long time. I have lived for 30 years, and this is the first time I have discovered that human diversity could be this rich. In the eyes of my legal wife, this body of mine, suffering from organ failure, in constant agonizing pain, and even my very life, are worth less than the blonde hair of some internet guy. I suppressed my emotions and asked one last question. Where's the money? Is it all gone? Consider that 500,000 alone from me. I will pay you back when I make more money later. Just go ahead and call your poor relatives back in the countryside to scrape together the surgery fee. Do not ruin Lin Xuan's chance to take the top spot. The call was cut off abruptly. I listened to the long dial tone from the phone. Strangely, I was not angry enough to smash the phone, nor did I clutch my head and weep like a tragic lead in a drama. I used 2 fingers to pinch the medical tape, ripped it off in one motion, and pulled the IV needle out cleanly. A few drops of dark blood trickled down my bony hand, falling onto the stark white bedsheet. I walked out of the room and headed straight to the nurse's station. The nurse on duty saw me. Bed 36. What are you doing? You have surgery tomorrow morning. You are not allowed to be out of bed right now. I reached into my pocket, took out my ID card, and slammed it onto the marble counter of the nurse's station. Process the hospital admission automatically. Cancel the surgery. Chu Shu. Have you lost your mind? You have been waiting forever for this donor match. Are you just giving up now? Who knows when you will get another chance? Your body can't take much more of this. I know. But I do not have a single penny left to my name, and I can't expect the lead surgeons to work for free. Please, just hand me the discharge forms to sign. 10 minutes later, I signed all the liability waivers. I will take full responsibility for the consequences. Dragging a body that could collapse at any second, I walked out of the hospital's main gate. I pulled out my phone and opened the messaging app. I found the profile picture of someone I had not contacted in 3 years. I sent a voice message. Lao Zhang, wake up. Draft a marital asset protection agreement and a lawsuit for me. The sooner, the better. Half an hour later, Lao Zhang and I were sitting across from the hospital in a 24-hour fried chicken joint. Your wife must be brainless. to take your life-saving money and throw it away on your kidney transplant funds, just to dump it all on some streamer with more makeup on his face than a wall online. I nodded weakly. It is beyond words. This is not just a marital dispute anymore. This is a true miracle of biological evolution. What kind of fairy did you marry? Did she descend from heaven just to bless these beggars? I clutched my lower back, which was throbbing with pain. Cut the crap. Tell me straight. Can we get that money back? Lao Zhang immediately went into professional mode. Legally speaking, that $500,000 belongs to your joint marital assets. She did not have your consent to unilaterally give away such a large sum of shared assets. As a reward for a streamer, this is a direct violation of your rights. Regarding the equal right to dispose of joint assets, we can sue that streamer and the platform as well. Demand a full refund. But these kinds of lawsuits drag on forever. The platform's legal department is not exactly a pushover. They will hide behind consumer behavior clauses. The most important thing is your health. Can you even hold on until the verdict? I stayed silent. Right. End-stage renal failure. Both of my kidneys have already clocked out. Without that $500,000, I won't even make it to the operating table tomorrow. I might not even see the sun next month. Just then, a sharp, stabbing pain shot through my lower back. Everything went dark before my eyes. I collapsed right under the table. Good heavens, Chushu, do not you dare die on me right here. When I opened my eyes again, a young man in a white lab coat, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, was bowing his head, taking notes on a tablet. The name tag on his chest read, Chief Specialist of Internal and Surgical Medicine, Guchen. I froze. Why does the name Guchen sound so familiar? He seemed to notice my hesitation. 10 years, no contact. You do not even recognize the person you helped back then. You sponsored his education, and you do not even know who he is. You. Are you little Gu? Chushu. Do not move. You just finished a minor procedure 2 years ago. I graduated from the medical school of Johns Hopkins University. Then I was recruited by the top private hospital in the country. They spent a fortune to bring me on board. I have always been looking for you, wanting to repay you for your kindness back then. I never expected us to meet like this. Sister-in-law, not exactly. That kind of woman is not even worth mourning over. I let out a bitter laugh, looking at my current pathetic state. I'm probably nearing the end. I can no longer repay this debt of gratitude.
Chushu, what nonsense are you spouting?
Do you have any idea where you are? This is the largest high-end private medical center in all of Asia. I have already utilized my personal international medical resource network to find you an even more perfect donor. In 3 hours, the donor will be flown in directly to the rooftop helipad of this building, but I am out of money. I can't even afford the hospital fees anymore. Chushu, 15 years ago, you gave me $500,000 to study straight from my master's to my doctorate. You practically gave me a new life. Today, I am returning that life to you. I will personally oversee this surgery. All medical expenses will be covered by my research fund. All you need to do now is get some good sleep. When you wake up tomorrow, you will be reborn. Hearing Guchen's words, my nose suddenly stung. Turns out, karma really does come full circle in this world. Zhao Man took my life-saving money and poured it into the bottomless pit of a virtual streamer. Yet the seed of kindness I planted back then grew into a towering tree in my darkest hour, firmly pulling me back from the hands of death. At the same time, in a cheap rental room on the other side of the city, Zhao Man was sitting cross-legged on the sofa. In front of her was a bowl of half-eaten instant noodles, but her face was flushed with excitement. Her eyes were glued to her phone screen. Her fingers were tapping frantically on the display. Oh no, Lin Xuan just got his points snatched by that big shot on the other side. He is only 20,000 points behind. Just then, a voice message popped up on her messaging app. It was from Lin Xuan, the man she longed for day and night. Zhao Man excitedly hit play and held the phone to her ear. My dear, I'm sorry. I might actually lose today. The big shot backing the other streamer is too ruthless. If I lose, not only do I have to shave my head, but the guild will also make me act like a clown. Baby, you are all I have left. Can you help me one more time? Just get through tonight, and at tomorrow's offline fan meeting, I will take you out for a private Western dinner, okay? These few sentences completely wiped out whatever intelligence Zhao Man had left. She was totally brainwashed. She absolutely refused to let her idol fall from grace. But Chu Shu's hard-earned 500,000 had already been drained by her, down to the last cent. Damn it. Zhao Man gritted her teeth and immediately opened the App Store on her phone. She skillfully searched for high-speed, instant approval payday loan apps, the kind that required no credit checks, where anyone could get a loan. Chu Shu, you are such a loser. He is barely sick, and he is already whining to the heavens. He is clearly using his illness to play the moral guilt card on me. He is just jealous because Lin Xuan is better looking and more talented than him. Zhao Man muttered in frustration, while frantically downloading dozens of online loan apps. I'm doing all this for love, to protect the best man in the world. Chu Shu just would not give me the money. She took out the loans herself. She filled in her eye details as smoothly as a flowing stream, verified her face, granted access to her contacts, completely oblivious. She was opening the gates of hell with her own hands. The screen kept flashing notifications. Loan of 20,000 yuan approved. Then another notification. Loan of 50,000 yuan approved. Zhao Man took a deep breath, taking all that high interest and predatory loan money she had just borrowed, and dumped it all into the live streaming platform. Do not be afraid, Lin Xuan. Man is here. Zhao Man typed this into the public chat box. Then her fingers tapped away frantically. The live stream room exploded instantly. Lin Xuan jumped out of his chair in a grand display, bowing deeply to the camera, thanking his treasure man, like a madman. My treasure man, you are truly my goddess. I am dying of love for you. Zhao Man watched the screen flooded with praise for the queen, listening to Lin Xuan's fake, sugary, I love you, and collapsed onto the sofa in pure satisfaction, feeling like she had reached the pinnacle of her life. What she did not know was, at this very moment, Chu Shu was lying in a sterile operating room, and Lin Xuan was also about to pay for that pinnacle of his with agonizing pain, a fate worse than death. The surgery went very smoothly. When I finally woke up from the anesthesia, opening my eyes to see the luxurious chandelier above, I could even feel that new, vibrant kidney working diligently inside my body. That sense of relief, having been free from pain for so long, left me stunned, as if I had been reborn. Gu Chen stood by the bed in his lab coat, taking off his mask, giving me a victory sign.
Miss?
Chu, from today on you are a healthy man again. I stayed in the high-end recovery ward of the private hospital, recuperating for a full 3 months. During those 3 months, I never once contacted Zhao Man. Lao Zhang, acting as my attorney with full power of attorney, filed for divorce in court because Zhao Man wanted to hide from the online debt collectors. She did not even dare to go home, let alone accept the court's summons. In the end, the court proceeded with a default judgment. Not only was the divorce granted, but because Lao Zhang provided ironclad evidence that Zhao Man had, without my consent, transferred a large portion of our marital assets to tip streamers online. Those 500,000 yuan were all ruled as Zhao Man's personal debt, having nothing to do with me. As for the subsequent loans Zhao Man took out, the predatory ones with annual interest rates of several dozen %, those were just bitter fruits she reaped for herself. I did not have to shoulder a single cent of it. 3 months later, I completed my discharge procedures. The day I stepped out of the hospital gate, the sunlight was blinding. I took a deep breath, a gulp of fresh air mixed with the city's exhaust fumes, and finally realized that this was the taste of being alive. Gu Chen did not just save my life, he also conveniently gave me a leg up. He introduced his super VIP clients to me, all of them filthy rich. I was originally a salesman with a sharp mind and a silver tongue. Plus, after getting a second chance at life, I became even more cynical, living and working with a reckless sharp edge. In just a few short months, I helped an influencer training company that was on the brink of bankruptcy secure an investment of 20 million. And just like that, with the wind at my back, I sat in the position of Executive Vice President of the company called Shindong Huyu. Find the contact info for that streamer Lin Xuan and the agency he is currently with. Last month, our company, Shindong Huyu, bought them out completely. They call it fate, I suppose. Sometimes it is truly unbelievable. Even if you try to run, you cannot escape it. It just loves to slap you right in the face. Meanwhile, on the other side, Zhao Man's days have been quite eventful. In a basement apartment in the city, less than 10 square meters, without even a window, the stench of moldy instant noodles mixes with cheap perfume hitting you right in the nose. Zhao Man sits with disheveled hair, curled up, on a rickety single bed in the corner. Her complexion is even more sallow than before I turned my life around. The manicured nails that were once her pride have all peeled off, revealing the jagged, ugly nails underneath. A violent pounding on the door, accompanied by crude cursing from outside, makes the old rotten wall plaster crumble down, playing dead in there. Are you? Get out here and pay up. Principal and interest, 3,200,000 in total. If you do not come up with the money today, I will throw you into a place where you can entertain guests for a living. Zhao Man is trembling with fear, like a frightened quail, keeping her mouth shut tight, not even daring to breathe loudly. Under the door gap, a streak of glaring red paint seeps in like blood crawling across the floor. The debt collectors pound on the door for 10 minutes, cursing until they are bored, then finally leave. Only then does Zhao Man dare to gasp for air, sobbing while fumbling for her phone. The screen is shattered like a spiderweb. This was the phone she bought last week, broken when the debt collectors snatched her designer bag on the street. She skillfully opens the messaging app, finding the pinned conversation at the top, labeled the best person in the world, Lin Xuan, in his chat box. It is packed with photos and messages she sent, full of pathetic begging, while his replies are as cold as an automated bot. Lin Xuan, my online loans have all defaulted. I get hundreds of calls bombing me every day. They even splashed red paint on my door just now. I am truly at the end of my rope. You said before that if you won the tournament in May, you would give me a life of luxury. Can you lend me 50,000 to help me get by? 15 minutes later.
Oh dear. Try to hold on.
Things have been really tight for me lately too. The agency cut my commissions. I'm eating instant noodles right now. Try to figure something out on your own for now. You are so capable. I am sure you can solve it yourself. Zhao Man stares at that reply, unable to hold back her tears anymore. They just keep falling down. Eating instant noodles. Your social media post yesterday clearly showed you at that Michelin restaurant by the river, eating a tomahawk steak. She wails in despair at the screen, her trembling fingers typing. Lin Xuan, because of you, I have nothing left. I even divorced my husband for you. You cannot just abandon me. Did you not use to call me your treasure? Can we meet just one last time? A glaring red exclamation mark pops up on the screen. The message just sent has been rejected by the recipient. Zhao Man stares blankly at that red exclamation mark, then suddenly lets out a piercing scream and furiously throws her phone against the wall. He finally realized how foolish he had been, but this belated realization, besides causing him more pain, was completely useless. The next morning, in the top floor boardroom of the Shindong Huyu headquarters, I sat at the head of the long conference table, twirling a fountain pen in my hand. Lao Zhang, my chief legal counsel, sat to my left, flipping through a thick stack of reports. The boardroom door pushed open. The top streamers, along with the head of the company's guild, walked in, trembling like leaves. Leading the pack was Lin Xuan. Clearly, Lin Xuan had no idea yet that the company had just purged its top management. As soon as he walked in, he pulled out a chair and sat down with an arrogant thud. Does the new boss have any instructions for us? I have to fly to Tama this afternoon for an outdoor shoot. My fans are waiting for me, you know. I said nothing, just watched him silently. Looking at that face, the face that had swindled money from countless vain girls. Just like Zhao Man, I felt nothing but nausea. Suddenly, I felt a deep sense of disgust, but even more so the thrill of a cat playing with a mouse. I gestured to Lao Zhang. Lao Zhang picked up a thick folder and slammed it down in front of Lin Xuan. Lin Xuan, right, our top streamer, according to the audit results conducted by the legal and finance departments over the past year, you are suspected of exploiting platform loopholes, colluding with insiders in the guild, and laundering money through fake cash flows. You are also suspected of luring minors into taking out online loans to gift their idols, a staggering amount. Lin Xuan's face turned deathly pale. He jumped up, trying to keep his cool. What kind of nonsense are you spouting? I am the company's cash cow. You are framing me. Believe it or not, I will take my fans and cancel my contract right now. You still have 5 years left on your contract. The breach of contract penalty is 200 million. Be my guest. I stood up, bracing my hands on the conference table, leaning forward slightly, staring straight into Lin Xuan's eyes. Besides that, do you know someone named Zhao Man? The top donor on your leaderboard, your favorite fan. Upon hearing that name, Lin Xuan's pupils contracted sharply. Only then did he take a good look at the new imposing general manager before him. Suddenly, as if he had seen a ghost, he pointed at me. Are you that guy who was trending on social media yesterday? The broke husband with the terminal illness. The smirk on my lips grew colder. I looked at him as if he were already a dead man. That is right. It is me. Surprised, Lin Xuan's legs went weak, and he slumped back into his chair. He could not wrap his head around it. How could a dying man with a terminal illness like me, in just a short half year, become the one who holds his fate in my hands, the boss who now looms over him in the company? I did not tell her to give me gifts. She wanted to top up her account herself. That has nothing to do with me. Whether it does or not, go explain that to the police. They are probably downstairs by now. Check the pinned comment to see what happens next.